Welcome to another edition of TikTok Hot Takes. This is a video where I look at TikTok and I look at their hot takes and dissect them to see if they're valid or not. Let's go with the first take.
If the Golden State Warriors do not make the playoffs this year, coming off the championship, will Steph Curry get the blame?
You should.
Yeah. Yes.
If you're the best player on a team that doesn't make the playoffs, you should get some or most of the blame. Absolutely.
And
He's going to get the blame, but they're not going to crucify him in the way they
they're not.
would do
Right,
LeBron,
hold on.
KD.
That's facts. Right,
Who
hold
else?
on.
It's
But they put him. He's leading the league in scoring, no impact. They're in the play-in. But this boy beside me would tell you, he'll say, "Oh, it's the bench." No, I don't want to hear that. We didn't make that excuse for nobody else.
Okay, so this is just stupid because, so Curry getting most of the blame on the team is just dumb because, as you can see, Curry is having an amazing season, and him having no impact doesn't even make sense because in most of them games, Curry is the reason why they're even in those games in the first place. And two, you can't not say that it's not the bench fault. It's a team sport. Any real NBA fan is not going to blame LeBron, KD, or Luka unless they have a bad series. Like in 2007, people blame LeBron, but they also say, oh, the Spurs is a better team. In 2011, that's LeBron's fault for messing up in the finals. Same thing with KD. KD last season, that is KD's fault for not playing good. You can't blame Curry for not making the playoffs when his team sucks. His team is not like it used to be last year. And yes, he had another take where he said, is Gary Payne, Otto Porter that important to the team? Yes, Gary Payne and Otto Porter was very important to the team because they brung perimeter defense and scoring. So you not having that takes it away from the team. So Klay Thompson is not playing that good. Draymond Green is getting old. Curry is the only consistent player in the big three that's playing good. And then when you don't have a good bench because them young players aren't playing good, then you're not going to win games. That's not Curry's fault. If you're the best player on the team, you should not get most of the blame when it's not your fault and you're playing good. Like Shea on the Thunder. I'm not going to blame Shea for losing on the Thunder because the Thunder is a bad team. And Shea is the reason why they're even in some of those games because he's having a good season. That's just a stupid take. Just because you're the best player on the team and the team is losing does not mean that it is your fault. You're not the reason why they're losing. You're not putting up empty stats. You're playing, but your team just sucks. That was just a dumb take.
If he going on an ISO, that's because he know he gonna get a big tall dummy and he could lull him to sleep. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that go into helping Steph win. Probably more so than any other superstar.
You just explained the team sport. That's all you did.
I really just explained Steph's success. As far as like everybody else in the top 10, you could just give them the ball and say, everybody move out the way, bro.
You don't think you could do that with Steph?
No.
I can't stand people just blatantly hate Steph for no reason. That was just the dumbest thing I've ever heard about Steph Curry. You're telling Steph Curry that his system is so good for him that he's not good? He literally just explained Steph Curry's system and how it plays. The way the Warriors plays is the reason why you have to get a tall defender or bring the center out is so Curry can lay up. It's an easy pick and roll. Curry can shoot. I don't understand what he's talking about by that. And then also, Curry is able to create his own shots. There is many possessions, many plays where Curry is able to create his own shot, even with the pick and roll, because some people know how to guard the pick and rolls. So when they pick up easily, Curry has to create his own shot. There is many moments in the Celtics finals where he had to create his own shot. There is many moments just in general when Curry plays that he creates his own shots. That was just dumb. That's just a way of just hating Curry. Players in the top 10, he could create his own shots in the top 10. Some players don't even do that, and he probably has him above Steph Curry. That was just a dumb take. He just explained a team sport like Morris said. He just explained how the Warrior system works. That's why it's so efficient. That's why it's so good.
I couldn't agree more. People look at a graphic like this and say, oh my God, look at his longevity. The king, Father Time has nothing on him. You know what I see? No improvement, a stalemate, flat line. So it's no surprise why he's dropping further and further in the MVP race every single year, because people are finally starting to realize what he's done the past 20 years of his career is not impressive. He's not good.
You know what's crazy about that video? That he literally just proved why LeBron is so good. To consistently have those stats every single season and not decrease shows why you're such a good player. What does he want him to average? You want him to average 32 every year for him to improve? Him averaging 28 consistently for 20 years is an amazing achievement. I don't know what he's talking about that's not amazing about it. And the reason why LeBron keep on dropping further and further down the MVP race is because of voters' fatigue. If they give LeBron James every MVP he's owed, he will probably have 6 or 7 because of the way LeBron James plays. LeBron James being consistently that good is the reason why he's number 2 on the all-time list. That's all I gotta say.
Also, Ron, genuinely, the easiest thing to do in basketball is probably rebounding.
You're crazy, JD.
Bro, shooting threes is the easiest thing to do.
I said shoot threes.
Bro, if all you focused on was rebounding the basketball and hustling after the basketball and not worrying about ever shooting the rock, it's one of the easier things to do. I'm not saying it's not skillful, because you do need to have some kind of idea of where the ball is going to bounce off, and then you're fighting for a rebound amongst trees. That's not easy, but I'm saying if that was the only thing that you did, rebounding is way easier than being a great shooter.
That was just, I don't understand why people think shooting is just easy. The reason why the league is so, like, every team needs a 3D player, every team needs a shooter, is because it's not that easy to do. You being a rebounder, you being able to rebound the ball is way easier than shooting. Shooting is not something you just pick up a ball and just shoot consistently. Shooting consistently is very hard to do in the NBA because shooting requires a form. Shooting requires a way you plant your feet. Shooting requires practice. Shooting requires, like, it's a lot of stuff to get your jumper in form. And on top of that, it's a lot to be able to shoot consistently, be able to get open. Like, it's way harder than just waiting for a rebound, because rebounding is skillful. Yes, getting rebounds is hard, but that is way easier to learn and way easier to practice than just shooting three.
Got a good one. Who would you rather have for the next 5 years? Now, Ja's a dog, but I think there's a couple people that's capable of doing what Ja do at the point guard spot. What Zion do, I don't think there's many that's capable. So I gotta go with Zion. Y'all let me know.
Okay, so this is semi-hard for me to pick. I have to pick Zion because I think Zion is better than Ja. And I'm going to pick Zion because I think it's easier to build around Zion and have Zion as your best player than Ja Morant. And the reason why I say that is because Zion, he'll be good if he's able to shoot, but it's not that hard to have people around that can shoot. I need a center that can shoot and a center that can rebound. I can have a good playmaking point guard. I can have a good complementary piece at my small forward and my shooting guard, which was the Pelicans have. That's why the Pelicans are so good. But also, the Grizzlies have been able to build around Ja Morant and have Ja Morant as their best player. So if I had to say the next 5 years with no injuries, I'll probably pick Zion Williamson because I think Zion's the better player. Zion is more efficient and Zion is more dominant in the paints. But if I had to say right now, with injuries, it'll probably be Ja Morant, considering how Zion gets injured and he's not healthy that much. But in the next 5 years without injury, I will probably pick Zion Williamson.
AI's resume is better than Harden's top to bottom.
What's AI's resume?
What do you mean, what's his resume?
Explain it to me.
They have the same amount of MVP, but then he has 4 scoring titles. So what Harden was essentially great at, AI was better than him at.
And the defensive side of the ball. You can't put Harden in your top 5. He only played one side of the ball.
What defense was Allen Iverson playing?
Way better defense than Harden. He was great off-ball defense.
He was great at getting steals. That's not great off the defense.
That's the passing lane.
James Harden is very high in the league in deflections every year as well, but no one says he's a good defender for the same reason. Allen Iverson wasn't a good defender.
Allen Iverson was small, so he didn't have the same size. Harden is 6'6" or 6'5", however tall Harden is, and can't lock up anybody.
AI doesn't get a pass for being bad on defense because he's small. We're comparing them as players. He's a smaller player. That's life.
Yeah, people are going to hit me for this too, I'm about to say. This is why I think AI is one of the most overrated players in the league, or has been, because James Harden is better than Allen Iverson, just in general. His MVP seasons, now, okay, they both have one MVP, but James Harden is better than Allen Iverson. James Harden is a better playmaker. James Harden is arguably a better scorer than Allen Iverson. James Harden is a better shooter. Now, defense, they both cannot play defense, but James Harden has gotten better defensively than AI. AI was not a good defender. James Harden is better playmaking-wise than him. Like, James Harden is a better playmaker than Allen Iverson. James Harden is a better scorer. James Harden has more impact than Allen Iverson. Now, you can give him that impact for but most people just give Allen Iverson his impact for the 2001 season and just stay on that season when he led the Sixers to the NBA Finals. Yes, that was a historic season. But besides that, Allen Iverson did not lead them anywhere else. Not the Sixers, not on the Nuggets when he was with Melo, not on the Grizzlies, not on any other team that he had. AI was not able to lead them consistently. Now, okay, you can hit me. You're gonna hit me for this take, which I really don't care. But I think AI is one of the most overrated players ever.
Now, here's one of the biggest things about Shaq that I really dislike, and it's going to kill his legacy.
He couldn't recognize that Kobe Bryant was one of the greatest players to ever play the game. He wouldn't relinquish the leadership role to Kobe when it was clearly Kobe's time. But when they traded his tail from the Lakers, which was the smartest move they ever did, sent it to Miami, what's the first thing Shaq said when he got off that plane?
What did he say?
This is D Wade's team.
I actually said, I'm going to bring a championship to Miami. That's what he said.
At the end of the day, you telling me that D Wade at that time was a better player than Kobe? But Shaq going to give accolades to D Wade and not to Kobe. How's you going to go and submit to a lesser player in D Wade but not submit to Kobe? It's an arrogant, pompous move that destroyed history. That team would have been the greatest team of all time if Shaq wasn't pompous and he wasn't arrogant.
Okay, I agree with a little bit what he said, but also it comes down to context because Shaq was traded from the Lakers to Miami Heat, and he was on a team that D-Wade was already leading. So how would Shaq look going on the team, going on that Miami Heat plane, and going to D-Wade and like, yeah, D-Wade, you was leader, but I'm leader now. Why would Shaq go to D-Wade and say that? The only reason why Shaq would not give the captain to Kobe Bryant was because Shaq was the best player on that team. Now, Shaq did not carry Kobe. I believe Kobe was better than Shaq in some of them series, but Shaq was the best player on the Lakers for a consistent time before Kobe Bryant got there. So you could say that's arrogant of him not wanting to relinquish the captain to Kobe Bryant, but it's different when he goes to Miami that's already set in stone and he already knows the D-Wade's team, so he's going to tell him that and try to help him out. That's just how it is. Now, I understand you can be mad at Shaq for being arrogant and not giving it to Kobe Bryant, but Shaq was still a very dominant player when he went to the Heat. So, of course, he's not going to give it to Kobe Bryant when he knows that he's the best player on that team. When he went to the Heat and gave it D-Wade because that was already D-Wade's team, so how would he look going to that team and telling D-Wade that's my team?
I would love to hear legit logic on how Shaquille O'Neal was not the best player in the game.
He couldn't hit free throws.
Okay.
That was kryptonite. You had something that you could actually take him out the game with. Shaq was everything, 5 feet in. You know what I'm saying? Had no mid-range game, no long game. And when you look at other guys, you had other guys that were more skilled than Shaq, but he was just so big and strong. Shaq could do anything with you. But then when you put him against guys like Hakeem and skilled big men that could take him away from the basket and expose him a little bit, he did have problems. But Shaq dominated the era because he was so big and so strong. Right. It was just impossible for dudes to really control him physically.
Shaq, for his size, had great footwork. Shaq was a great transition player. Shaq made free throws when they counted. I remember him icing a bunch of games at the free throw line. He made free throws when they counted. He might not have been great, but he did make free throws when they counted.
The point of the game is to put the ball in the basketball and to prevent the other team from doing that.
There's a misconception that skill or talent makes you the best, and it doesn't.
Nuts.
Shaq was the best player in 2000. Shaq was the best player in 2001, and you could say 2002 as well. Shaquille O'Neal is the best player because of how dominant and how big he was. Him not being able to shoot free throws is his weakness, yes, but mostly every player in the NBA has a weakness or something they're not as good at as other players. So him not saying he's not skilled or talented and can't do a double tween and shoot, that's why he's not good, is so stupid, because Shaquille O'Neal was so dominant in the basket and was able to consistently win the games. I don't understand how he wasn't the best player in 2000 and 2001. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand how, because he can't shoot free throws, that's why he's not the best player. Not every player is going to be good at everything that you can do. That was Shaq's kryptonite, yes, but he was still able to lead the Lakers to 3 straight championships. I don't understand how Shaq wasn't the best player. 2000, 2001, probably 2002 as well. I don't understand how he was the best player in the game. That was just dumb. That's the end of the TikTok hot take video. Thank you for enjoying and watching it all the way through. Go ahead and like and comment if you want more TikTok hot takes. I'm going to try to find some more, get some more videos out for y'all. There's more video essays coming out soon. Thank you for watching and have a good day.